Going to be talking about color and continuing to learn about color as a concept for us in creating artwork in a painting class. So, if we think about color, we've talked about this a little already this week, that color is the most expressive element of art. It is the color is most closely tied to our emotions. We tend to have very emotional reactions to color. We have favorite colors, we have colors we hate, we have color that means special things to us. We use colors to identify the country we belong to. Colors have religious significance, holiday significance, um, people group significance. We associate a lot of meaning to color as human beings. It's also important to remember that everyone sees color a bit differently. So yesterday in the video you watched, it talked about like the physiology of the human eye. And as our eye is shaped differently from person to person, it will register both light and color differently, which is how we get things like color blindness. That's a very documented way of seeing color really differently. But also, everyone sees red a little bit different. So we always have to kind of think about that as we're creating paintings, that I'm seeing red a certain way as I'm making my painting. Somebody else is going to see it differently as they look at the painting. And we have to remember that as we're creating artwork that's built on color, that people are going to react differently to the paintings we create just based on the emotional or cultural attachment they have to the colors we use, and then just based on how they're perceiving that color. Color is an element of art that is from light. It comes from reflected light, and we learned about that in the other video, that color is a wave, and that wavelength is actually attached to what color is perceived. So we actually see color because light is absorbed and reflected, and it's that reflected light that comes back to our eye that gives us the color. So if it's dark, we don't see color. When we talk about the color spectrum, it is always in the same order. We call that the rainbow. If you've heard Roy G. Biv, that is the colors of the rainbow in order, the colors of the light spectrum in the correct order. They're always in the same order. And that anachronism, Roy G. Biv, is what helps us remember the color order. So the color order is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Artists place these colors in a wheel or circle to better see the relationships between these colors. And then we have a few extra colors that we add in between some of the colors in the rainbow. If we talk specifically about colors, colors have 3 separate components, and we will work with each of these components separately as we begin to learn how to paint. The first component of color is hue, and that is the name of a color in the spectrum. So the word hue is just a synonym for the word color. So the hue is orange, the color is orange. We change a color's hue by mixing more than one color together. The second component of color is value, and that has to do with how light or how dark a color is. We change a color's value by adding white and by adding black. The third component of color is intensity, and a color has intensity. Intensity is its brightness or its dullness. So the difference between like blaze orange, a regular orange crayon, and the orange that a pumpkin is. They're all orange. They just have different color intensities. We will change a color's intensity by adding its complementary color. When we look at colors, colors also have color families. So the primary colors are the first 3 colors. In art, those colors, or in pigment, those colors are red, yellow, and blue. Those three colors are actually the only three colors you need to create all of the other colors. So we call those the primary colors: red, yellow, and blue. The secondary colors are the colors we get when we start to mix those primary colors together. And those are green, violet, and orange. So each of those secondary colors is a mix of two primary colors. The next color family has 6 in each group, and they are the hyphenated or linking colors. We call those the tertiary colors. Maybe you remember these colors from elementary school or middle school as the intermediate colors, or sometimes art teachers call them the linking colors. They are the colors that are in between our primary and our secondary color, and they're a mix of those two colors together. So we have colors like red, orange, yellow, green, red, green, and those are the linking colors all around the color wheel. We today are going to be making our first color wheel by finding random objects around our home that are colorful. They don't have to be a single color, but they should be primarily one color or another. So you're going to go on a bit of a scavenger hunt to look around your house for some objects that are fairly smallish, because you're going to gather them in a group, in a circle. You're going to then arrange them on the table or on the floor in the order of the color wheel. You're going to take a photo of that arrangement and upload that photograph to Google Classroom. This will give you practice doing 2 things, 3 things actually. 1, it gives you practice making a color wheel. 2, it gives you practice taking a photograph of your work. And 3, it will give you practice uploading that photo to an assignment in Google Classroom.